would have to develop would be propulsion, air handling, lighting, automated systems. Because if you're going to carry thousands of animals, you've only got 8 people on the boat. That's him, his wife, and his 3 sons and their wives. And everything would have to be mechanised, because otherwise you'd never do it with 8 people. And of course, it was a long voyage. It was going to be a year that they had to be prepared for a long voyage. I mean, it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, the Bible tells us. And then after that, they floated around, presumably because there was so much mayhem, with probably enormous amounts of debris. The other point is that it's quite likely that in the breaking up of the crust and all the upheaval that was going on, that this ark would have had to have been a semi-submersible, might have spent some of its time underwater at times, and because if you get a tsunami blowing across, you know, could be a mile high, you know, all right, you go up to a point, and then, well, goodness knows what would happen. But yes, the other thing is that they might have been exposed to some quite nasty radioactivity, because when you break the crust, you get a lot of that. They get a lot of that in the oil industry, I understand. The Piper Alpha platform, which had to be scrapped years ago, that was a bit contentious, because one of the reasons why they had to scrap it was that when they set it down on the seabed, it broke a rather nasty pocket of radioactivity. But anyway, all those things would have to be taken care of and developed, so it's not surprising it took 100 years to build. And of course, if you've got very long lifespans where you know you're going to live for hundreds of years, you can take your time. But anyway, right, now what I want to talk about now is Planet X. Are you, who's not familiar with Planet X? Right. Well, in fact, if we just sort of read what's on the screen.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
We'll go back.
Yeah, just go back. Give a chance to read that. Yes, it was theoretically recognised. They launched the RAS, and apparently the various universities and so on had bought time on the RAS, and when they found Planet X, this very large body, far out at the outer edges of the solar system, they rather threw in the bin the programs that people had paid for, and just focused on Planet X and used up all its energy focusing on it and getting all the information, all the data they could off it. It is coming this way. In fact, you'll see it on the photographs as we progress. And it's the Sumerians referred to this other planet called Nibiru, which is one of the things that goes round planet. I should explain that Planet X is a brown dwarf. So that is, it's sort of part way between a planet and a star. It hasn't got the mass to burn and ignite with the right thermonuclear reactions of a star, but it's still a very dense body, somewhere in the region of the size of Jupiter, possibly larger, and much denser. And it's sort of, if you can imagine a fire sputtering away, and that's what it does. So it has a huge debris cloud round it, and it seems that it's got from this either, well, this says 5 minor planets. You can see 5 on the photographs as we go on. But so yes, this is just to give you a feel, just a sort of recap on what we have in the solar system. You've got the inner planets, and of course that includes us and the Moon, Mars, and then the larger planets, and then of course way out. Now this is referring to Nibiru, but in actual fact, Nibiru is one of the planets that goes round Planet X, so this is not wonderfully clear. You see the dates of these photographs. You can see by the stars that are in each image that it's the same place in the sky, and it does appear from May to September to have got a little bit bigger. So this is the the idea of I mean, this depiction is not to scale, but it gives you an idea that some sort of a mini system coming this way, which is likely to interfere with our planet in the centre of the solar system. The ancient Egyptians seem to depict it like that. It appears that's a sort of winged disc. You see an awful lot of winged discs in Egyptology. So anyway, the American government decided that they would spend billions of pounds on the South Pole Telescope, which they've located on the South Pole, and as I say, an enormous undertaking under the most extremely difficult conditions. I mean, the main body of the telescope weighed about 250 tons, and they flew it in one lump. But that is tracking what's going on. I mean, it's supposedly just an academic research project probing to space in the infrared. Of course, the other thing about Planet X is because it is very, very dim, it's relatively cold, although we're told that as it gets nearer to our sun, it warms up and it starts to get a bit more active and the fire gets a bit stoked. That may be partly to do with electrical interactions because, as you may be aware, we actually have an electric universe, hence that earlier shot of the proverbial lightning strike. And it could be that the interactions, the electrical interactions, as it gets nearer, cause it to heat up and become more visible and to glow more. But at the moment, it's very hard to see. And in fact, in recent years, astronomers have discovered that the universe is absolutely full of brown dwarfs, but they're so difficult to spot because they hardly emit anything. And so you have to have your detector kept at as close to absolute zero, -273, as you can, and then you can detect whatever body might be just a few degrees warmer, but still extraordinarily cold. So yes, the real reason for the telescope, we believe, is Planet X. This is a photograph. I don't want to make of this photograph because the sun's all over the place, isn't it? I mean, it's right down there, and the thing is up in the sky. Maybe whether it's rising. You see this object. I haven't made my mind up about that, whether that's genuine or not. I don't think it's a sundog because it's a bit far away. Do you know that sundogs, when you get the atmospherics are such that you've got a reflection of the sun quite close to it. I think it's too far away. So that, according to what we read, Planet X may now be visible to the naked eye in the southern hemisphere. But the point being that a lot of people believe it's going to cross the ecliptic, which of course is the plane of all the planets going around the sun. It's going to cross the ecliptic at about 30 degrees from the south in December 2012. And the question is, where will we be in relation to its locality, and how much damage will we suffer, and how severe will it be?